Okay, so this is my son's bed. We built it about a year ago. It's what they call a Montessori bed, I guess. Easy little A-frame looking house thing. We used a curtain over the top and just pinned it up to make a roof on it. It sits on the floor, but now we're wanting to get it off the ground just a little bit. So I'm going to cut some 4x4 posts to add to it. What I'm going to do is notch it to fit right in there. Probably going to cut that out right there so that the 4x4 will sit up in here. But I'm just going to notch it right there. So I don't want the 4x4 to stick up past this slat right here. So I know these two together are 2 1/4 inches roughly. As long as we get it close to that. Cut my notch 2 1/4 inches so it'll sit flush with these. So here we go. Here's our 4x4 post. Do I have all the right tools I need? I do. Do I have them here? No, they're in a storage unit because I was super smart and sold my house and moved to this condo. So all my stuff's in storage unit. We want to get this done, so I'm just going to make do with what I have here. I got a piece of wood for a straight edge. I got a saw. I have, a saw that would cut this in one swipe, but instead we're going to use that. And we'll see how it goes. So I know we want the bed 9 1/4 inches. We want to raise it 7, so 9 1/4 is the total that we need for the notch, including the notch. So we're going to go 9 1/4 right there. I don't know why I'm not being able to focus right now. There we go. So I've marked it 9 1/4. That should give us the total height we need, and then I'll notch it out from there. And I'm just going to take my straight edge here. It's an awesome straight edge. And line it up right there. And we'll go ahead and cut it. Awesome. And we'll charge the battery first. Alright, so we're back. I ended up having to go to the storage unit, get the miter saw here. It was just going to be ridiculous. My battery died. I was going to have to charge it probably a couple of times to get this done with as many cuts as I need to do. And this will do it in one cut at a time. So, here we are. So you can see I got it started. That's about it with the first little cut I made. We're going to go ahead and get it finished up here with this. This saw was given to me by a friend. Shout out to him. So holds true to my style. I don't pay for anything if I can't help it. It's very awesome. He already had one. Somebody gave it to him, so he was generous enough to give it to me. And hopefully one day I can pass that along to somebody else. For now, I'm using it. So I'm just going to line up my cut here that I started and go from there. Now I can just make my lines off of that. I can actually probably pull in this stopper without having to draw lines and just make my cuts there. And here's my son blowing up a ball. He's wanting to help me, so here we are. Turns out I'm gonna have to mark it, so I'm just gonna line up this block with the end, give it a mark right there, and then we'll cut the next. and do the next one. Make sure those are the same, and they are. Was that loud, buddy? All right, we got 2 more to do. We're just going to do the same thing. Line it up. All right. That's the same. Works out. Last one. Get it put in the right spot here. Grab my pen. I don't particularly care for that split right there, but I'll probably end up cutting that out anyway. So come on, there we go. All right. There we have it. Now we have 4 pieces for 4 posts. I may need some more, so I got some extra. May have to add some posts in the middle. We'll just have to see. Alright, so now I'm going to notch this so it fits up in the bed frame. So I've got it marked off. Bed's made out of 2x4s, 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to mark this at 1.5 inches with my speed square. I got it marked there at 1.5 inches. Mark it there. This is going to be what goes inside the bed, and then we're going to cut that portion out right there on every one of these, and then we'll have to go down 2¼ inches and make a line. So now, using my side of my grill as a work table here, you can see I've got them all marked. Everything that needs to be cut is marked with an X on every side, and that should leave me this to slide up in the bed frame, and the bed will sit on this. So while I was doing all the other, my battery was charging for the skill saw here. I've got my blade depth set for this, so I'm going to make the cut right here, and then on this side I'm going to make that cut, and then we'll just have to connect the 2 here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as it turns out, my blade depth on my skill saw is deep enough, just barely, to get that cut. So that's what I'm going to do with these. Not exactly the most safe operation. Don't recommend this. Try this at home. But that's how I'm doing it. So I got one last one to do. The saw wouldn't do all of it. That battery, or the saw is pretty taxing on the battery. It's really meant for just a drill. But I got all these cut, so while I wait on the battery to charge, I'm going to take it didn't quite get all the way through, but I'm going to take a screwdriver or a chisel and just knock these off. It should be pretty usable. Maybe take just a hair of sanding and we'll have a usable piece. Alright, so I got all these prepped up. I took my Dremel and just cleaned up those edges right there. We're going to get ready to stain them. My wife normally does this part, but she's busy working and I'm trying to get this project done. So this is what we use, poly shades from Minwax. It's pretty good. It's the stain and poly all in one. We've used it for several projects throughout our house. Let me get you set up here. There we go. And had pretty good results if we like how it looks. So once again, not having all the right stuff, I can't find our brushes that I normally use to stain things with, so I'm just going to try this out. I'm in the kitchen here, you can see that. Turn you so you can see. Ooh, careful. So over here, I'm in the kitchen because I don't have a good workspace where I'm at, and I'm using paper towel instead of brushes like I normally use. I'm just going to kind of dip it and wipe. We'll see how it goes. Just a little more. Just get a little bit on this edge. Just for good measure. And I'm not going to really worry about the parts that aren't going to be showing. So there we have it. Looks pretty good. We'll let that dry and I'll do the rest. Alright, so I got them all done. The paper towel method actually worked out pretty well. It only took me one paper towel to get it all done. They took up the stain pretty good, so we're going to set those outside and let them dry for a little bit. I'll hopefully be able to put them on this afternoon. Alright, so you can see the finished product now. I got a little ahead of myself, got carried away. But there's the post, raised the bed up off the ground nicely. It's about a really good height. He can climb up on the bed and out of bed still really easily without any trouble. So it turned out pretty good, I think. You can see, I'll show you how it sits down in there. I know it's a little dark, but they notched in there really nice. I just ran a couple of screws through the back side there and into this board to hold it in place. They're really secure, and I think it turned out pretty good. If you made it through the video this far with me, thanks for watching.